Jamaica! For Jamaica! For the born and the unborn! For the maroons! For the women! For the children! For the men! For the youth! For the disabled! For the mentally ill! For Jamaica tonight! Good night, Jamaica! And for God! For Yahweh! As I end with the spirit of Shango and the spirit of Oshun, I call on the ancestors to guide my journey. I call on Ether. I call on the ancestors. I call on Yahweh. My name is Andre Stevens, and this was PDTV News Jamaica. Ashe, 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 Jamaica for Jamaica, Jamaica for Jamaica. Let us sound the abeng and wake this nation. Let us sound the abeng. Ancestors, ancestors, your son is ready. Your son is ready. Your son is ready to rescue this country. No more poverty. No more corruption. For the born, no debt. No one can be debt. I dream of a better Jamaica. A Jamaica free of crime. A country where hunger will be a thing of the past.
Yeah, I'm live right now.
Good night, Jamaica.
Live right now. I can't move.
My team, Ishmael.
Can't move.
On behalf of my team, Ishmael, Courtney, Claude, Mishidex, Dradan, the ancestors guide us tonight. And we did this for the born. Mishidex, Dradan, good night, the ancestors guide us at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. And we did this for the born. Bye-bye. Mishidex, Dradan, good night.
Wow. 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 Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. It's your brother Bolo V&R. I am live with you on episode 2 of the nightly news recap. But what I just heard on Andre Stevens' show tonight, I will not be recapping. You guys have to go and watch it yourselves, man, if you haven't already, man. I have nothing to say. I have nothing to say. This one is bigger than Bolo, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go live on my TikTok over here, so yeah. Mighty God. I saw politics did nasty. What a tangled web. Ladies and gentlemen, good night. Who is here? What a tangled web. What a tangled web. I just feel like marching, you know, man. I don't know about nobody else now. I feel like marching. I want to say unequivocally that I am in full support of Mark Jefferson Golding as the leader of the People's National Party and as our next Prime Minister of Jamaica. Very, very soon, not too far from now. As long as it's God's desire for it to be so. I think it is. I think he will be our first righteous leader as prophesied, that a first righteous leader will be here by or before 2027 by the apostle Jeffrey Shuttleworth. Hold on, you know, I don't like TikTok sometimes. This phone does not respond quick enough, you know. I don't like that. It's just playing the thing and I'm coming off of the thing, man. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, you know, first I want to march. And then we go to the prophecy. Hey. My goodness. God, we are march. No, I don't get a copyright, but I take it enough. I take it. My God, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't watched PD TV show tonight, I encourage you to go and watch it, alright? I'm not playing nothing from it. I encourage you to go and watch it. My goodness. My goodness. Wow. Let us play this right here, ladies and gentlemen. Because you see, this is what is going to happen to them, you know. This is what is going to happen to the paid operatives that align themselves with a corrupt political party, that are not true patriots of the country, that don't truly believe in what it is that the leader of the country actually is doing. They only support Andrew Onis and his government because they're being paid to do so. Not because they believe in what he's doing, because they can eat a food, ladies and gentlemen. You understand? This is what is going to happen to them and them leader. Listen to this.
Not if Jamaica is to be changed, because we know Jamaica is being changed. Jamaica is being transformed. And by or before 2027, we will see a new Jamaica emerging. Not completely new, obviously, but there will be major turning points. One of them, finally, we will be led by a righteous prime minister.
Finally, by or before 2027, ladies and gentlemen, finally, we will be led by a righteous prime minister. Gloria, how are you doing? Finally. Finally. To God be the glory, man. To God be the glory, man. Play that back.
Not if Jamaica is
not
to be changed, because we know Jamaica is being changed.
Not if.
Jamaica is being transformed.
Yes.
And by or before 2027, we will see a new Jamaica emerging. Not completely new, obviously, but there will be major turning points. One of them, finally, we will be led by a righteous prime minister.
Finally.
And it might seem like a pipe dream. I'm smiling because those of us who are able to see in the realm of the spirit, we have some interesting developments coming this year that will trigger changes politically, which will take many by surprise, because there are those who think that they are around forever and they can stay as long as they want. We shall see what we shall see.
All right.
That's all I'm going to say. We shall see what we shall see.
All right.
So apart from the intensification of judgment, which will come in different ways, not just natural disasters, but God will also use external intervention in the affairs of Jamaica. I'm going to say it one more time. God will use external interference in the affairs of Jamaica in order to set things right.
Yes.
Since we have leaders who think nobody like them, and they have put themselves in power through corrupt practices. We have a system of election where persons are to be duly elected.
Yes.
And they corrupt the system.
Yes.
So what God is going to do is going to use other means of displacing them. Watch and you will see.
Watch and you will see.
External intervention in addition to continued disasters of different types. So we shall see what we shall see. This is going to be a pivotal year which will pave the way for what will manifest in 2027. So we continue to pray the process through. Not if Jamaica is to be changed, because we know.
Welcome, 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 ladies and gentlemen. 2026, 2026, ladies and gentlemen. I want to invite you guys to go to a word and a verse on TikTok. All right, Belinda, how you doing? Good night. Go to a word and a verse on TikTok, and I want you to follow that page and go to Freedom Come Rain on TikTok as well and follow that page. All right, like I said, you guys have to go and visit Andre's page to go, and if you haven't watched it already, you need to go listen to what went down in the last hour and a half. My goodness, Lord have mercy. I want to go to this because, of course, you have to stay in tune with what is going on with the financial side of things. And none other than Colin Bell is where I go to personally to find out what is happening, because that's where Mr. Ralston Hyman goes on YouTube. I don't get the time to listen to the radio when it's on, but it's captured on YouTube and I can go back and listen to it. You know what I mean? So let's go to here first, ladies and gentlemen. Very important.
Infrastructure. They see that it is going to.
They are well schooled. Remember, Fly Green is a lawyer, you know.
But is the application and the wisdom. They're not using their wisdom and the application.
Well,
going to school and getting education.
Yeah, that is the problem.
Application is.
So I hear you talking that the Bank of Jamaica is suggesting that the recovery from very might take a little longer than they had anticipated. First of all,
thank you guys for hitting the like button, by the way. I do encourage it. For TikTok, let's get to 20,000 likes if we can, and share up the video so we can get more support where that is concerned, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you in advance. All right.
Why are they saying that now? What has caused them to say that?
Well, they say they have taken a relook, and when they look at the level of damage that has been done to the agricultural sector, to the country's infrastructure, they see that it is going to take a longer period of time.
So what have they said before?
I don't know. They went to the PR because the government gave the impression that it was just a minor disruption. And I was always telling you that the man them who create economics, man like Joe Stiglitz, Jeffrey Sachs, Amartya Sen, the man there say you have to find a different way to measure the impact of natural disasters on an economy, especially.
Listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Ralston Hyman has been shouting that from the top of the roof from day one. The way how they are calculating the damage from Hurricane Melissa, he said it. They are only calculating the building. They are not calculating the loss of money that's actually lost because the building is not there anymore. So say for instance, a man have a business and it's a restaurant. They just look at the value of the restaurant in terms of the building and not the day-to-day operations and how much money he actually is losing because it's no longer open. There's no building, so there's no income coming in, and that business is directly affected by the fact that other people that is in that circle that also got damaged, lost their house, don't have the money to be doing their day-to-day where they would support his business. And that is just a microcosm of the macrocosm, because you have different businesses. That's just a restaurant level. You understand what I'm saying? You have other businesses. So they just calculated, the structure itself costs this. Right? The structure itself costs this. Right? But the business operation actually day-to-day in terms of profit, that is being lost. They don't calculate it. The money coming through. So it is a facade. They were painting a PR facade about financial resilience. Absolute rubbish, ladies and gentlemen. No apology. Oh, sorry, my bad.
Infrastructure damage.
So you can't do business as you.
No.
You can't use the same calculation
No.
because you have
No.
a different creature dealing with.
Precisely. Now the DOJ is finally coming to that conclusion, and I say, yeah, boy, I be about. Because what them normally do is to use the traditional what called the flow method. So what am I say the impact on GDP? So GDP is the amount of goods and services produced within a particular period. So them just check the disruption within that period. But the man must say if your infrastructure get damaged, yeah, that is a big problem because
the infrastructure then would not be able to produce those
Rally,
the normal rate. No, but I explain something.
Simple. Just as simple.
Me and Max and them something, me not agree.
So, Rally, the DOJ finally coming around to what you have been saying.
Mighty God.
That it cannot be that we just look at government, the earnings that we would normally earn before the hurricane. Where are they now? What they're saying now?
Well, what the DOJ says that, contrary to what the minister is saying, disruption. The DOJ has acknowledged that this is not just a disruption, this is a major shock to the country, particularly as it relates to the infrastructure, and as a result of that, it will take a longer time for the economy to recover rather than the original program for a time, because government and the minister was trying to give the impression that it was just a flow GDP blip. And as we are saying, real economists, people like Jeffrey Sachs, Joe Stiglitz, Amartya has said, them when they're making you say, yo, when you have something like a natural disaster or wipe out infrastructure, yeah, you can't just look at the impact of GDP flow because you can't produce a GDP flow without your infrastructure.
Right.
So it'll take a longer time. Yeah.
Thank you.
So
good sense no prevail at the DOJ, and I said that.
Andrew, what's up? Thank you.
5 years, but this one government and it will all be 10.
because if you don't, as we have been saying, that the longer you take to start is the longer it will take to get out.
Exactly.
Yeah, man, and why it take long to start? The international conditions are changed, so everything get more difficult.
Canada.
And one of the ways to start it, ladies and gentlemen, is to get the people that actually are the what you call the little hamsters on the wheel to actually get the economy going. All the different people there that just lose them house and everything collectively, they are the ones that push and drive the economy, the consumers. So if they aren't in a position to stand on their feet, to participate in the economy, what do you think is going to happen? You remember, do you guys remember this prophecy? Let me find it. Pyrrhic victory. You guys remember this prophecy from the Apostle Jeffrey Tour? Even Andre played it on his show one time. Pyrrhic victory, ladies and gentlemen. Let me find it real quickly. Finally, they might come to their senses. Look how long the man attack.
Eddie, lest you forget, the victory, in inverted comma, that was celebrated is a Pyrrhic victory. And as time goes by, you're going to see the Pyrrhic nature of the victory. This is already manifesting. If your eyes are not open spiritually, I don't need to say what they are, but you're going to see more and more. That it's a Pyrrhic victory. And when you have a Pyrrhic victory, is that you're sorry, say you didn't win. That's kind of thing, right?
So Andrew Onlis is probably presently right now sorry say him win the election. If him not sorry, he's going to be sorry.
You're sorry you're on the victorious side. If you had thought that you were going to go through all of the different things, might as well we never win. That's what a Pyrrhic victory looks like. It's painful. Okay. And of course,
and of course, ladies and gentlemen, with the eyes of the world on us, it's going to be very difficult for them to do any hanky-panky, you know. You see what has exposed on the UHWI. By the way, guys, remember 10:30 in the morning, the PMP will have a press conference, even if I am not live. You can check it out on their page or on PDTV. Straight up, Andre Seman covered. He probably going to be there at the conference. So you never know with Andre, you see me? Right? But, woo!
other side also has been going through some challenges, but there is more to come. So don't think that the prophetic word is going to go away. Just a matter of time, you will see it playing itself out. This is a word of warning to those who will use this kind of scenario to push the so-called climate change. It's a word of warning. Because what it is going to do, the Lord is going to allow the people to rise up and to push back against it. Right? This is not about any climate change. What is happening and is about to happen, really, this weather system has nothing to do with climate change. This is not just the voice of God speaking, but it is also the judgment of God that will be visiting a number of nations. Notice how many times Haiti has been called, Dominican Republic has been called. We have been speaking about them in the past. Yes? And there are other areas that will be visited. But Jamaica, if you notice, is at the center. At the center. Eddie, lest you forget, the victory in inverted commas.
So, when we hear that, let me see that one there. Hold on there.
Ancient spirits, such as the pirate spirits, they have the audacity to do it. We shall see what we shall see. For God is supreme in Jamaica. Kingston and St. Andrew. In the mighty name of Jesus the Christ, Son of the living, speak in such a way in this nation like we have never seen before.
Alright. We now find the actual one, so we're going to move on. Back to this. But Pyrrhic victory, ladies and gentlemen. Better if I never did. Better if Andrew is gonna say to himself, it's better if me never did win. Look up what Pyrrhic means. Man, how you doing, my baby? Big up. Look up what Pyrrhic means.
The Canadian Prime Minister went down to China. What does that mean? What does that mean, Raleigh?
Simple. Right now, Keir Starmer, when the British Prime Minister, is also in China. What the man do is kind of decoupled from the US because they can't take the US president because his conduct is so erratic. Yeah. So people are looking towards the future, and the future is saying, don't depend on the US too much. Try and diversify your trading partners. The IMF says it is preparing for a run on the US dollar because once you have these kinds of trade deals, the demand for the US will decline significantly because people have to settle everything in the US again.
So, Ralston, Trump don't want China in a Jamaica, in a Venezuela, in a Caribbean. But the United States and Canada carry land border. Not sea. Land border. So how they going to deal with China in Canada?
They can't, because in this the man the governor of the 51st and then so Canada should say I'm a big man. Right now, Canada ban US liquor for themselves and all of them things there. So the man not take it sitting down, and that is why they have divert them things and deal with other people so that you can sabotage. The more friends you have is the less the US can hurt you. And that everybody do. Europe do it, yeah, Canada do it, UK do it.
Thanks for the gifts, thanks for the
But
gifts.
if this continue, then the US might be standing alone, or maybe just Jamaica and Trinidad and Israel.
Canada and make America great again. Yeah, no, what Trump is doing, contrary to making America great again, what he's doing is isolating America and reducing America's clout as a global superpower. Yeah, by default, he hand the global superpower to China and Russia. That is what is going to happen from this.
But our Prime Minister said we need economic independence, and therefore we now say nothing about what is happening. When you look at the UK, when you look at Canada, Trump can't go take out them and the Prime Minister just so. But if he decide to take out the Prime Minister out of Jamaica, there's nothing to stop him.
Well, in Canada, the Prime Minister out of Jamaica just like that if the Prime Minister of Jamaica is not in certain ways.
But he can make up any story, Rally. When I say we can't stop him, we don't have no arm if we stop him.
Yeah, true.
We don't have no arm if we stop him.
But that, but that means whatever I'm saying, I'm going to say
how high when him say jump.
But and that is why I'm saying that if you as a small nation
Jamaica, so
don't call for people to respect the rule of law, then you don't have nothing to back you.
True.
Certainly, and that is why I said that our Prime Minister don't understand international relations, because even before Trump, when you had people like Reagan and all of those things, Jamaica and them was constructively engaged with South Africa. Jamaica had a common point spanning Hugh Shearer, Ken Barr, Michael Mann, PJ Patterson. We respect the rule of international law.
Yes.
True.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Jamaica survived during that period, and Jamaica was more economically independent during that period. So this Prime Minister have no notion about international
Every
relations. He's obtuse when it comes to international relations.
We hear in the news that a family in Trinidad is now suing the United States for 2 men that was killed on the high seas in those vessels that the United States blew up. Where you see that going?
Because those things are illegal activity. Not really now come out that still, but at least I'm gonna make a point. Because those things are illegal. You know? But because of the power structure, not really now come out that.
So
but over the long term.
Go ahead, you go ahead.
Over the long term, what Trump is doing is weak in America, and the people in America are going to try and do something about it during the midterm elections in November, and then a new story will unfold during that period of time.
All right, so
because the people in America really don't like what going on with them country and everything.
All right, so we see all that is happening in the world. Canada going down to China, UK going down to China, and all of that. But we have a region rally, the Caribbean region. Why is it that we are not coming together as a region and doing more for each other, trading more with each other, and building out the region to ensure that we have more stability as small nation, small island in this region?
Well, we
big up.
I think that we'll have to diversify trading base to include CARICOM, to include Asia, to include Africa if we're going to survive in this environment. We just got the trade figures for the first 9 months of last year. Imports were up by 3.6% to 5.7 billion, and exports were down by 2% to 1.3 billion. So I run a trade deficit of 4.4 billion compared to 4.2 billion during the same period of last year. So I'm not just Julian nonsense. Now, if you look at the imports, raw materials came in at 1.7 billion, food and consumer goods at 1.6 billion, fuel and lubricants at 1.4 billion, capital goods 569 million, transport equipment 461 million. What did we export? 616 million in manufactured items, 549 million in mining, although the biggest bauxite and aluminum plant remained closed at a time when aluminum prices are trading at record high. And agricultural exports were only $52 million. Yep, that's the economic independence that the Prime Minister is talking about.
But the Minister of Agriculture told Obi today that the Alpart plant will not be open this year.
I tell you, precisely. That I tell you. So Obi did ask him why and why him say now. And given that the prices are so high, don't you see that this is a missed opportunity for me to get in the plant next year?
So if it not went open this year, what what is it then?
So Obi never asked him the question and why it not open this year and when it ever open?
Well, he gave some reasons, but when Obi asked him that question, he said that he had to go. So I don't think Obi got a chance. So
he had to go. He can't answer that question.
Of course, he had to go. Brother, I'm telling you, listen. I'm telling you, this government is the we are doing it government, you know. It's soon up my government, you know. It's in the pipeline government, you know. Them not finish nothing constructive. We are going to change the trajectory of us growing the economy and having a stable society. It's always Pat W what's up. It's always me almost it breaking ground, bag of cutting a ribbon. Never. We are cutting ribbon now because the building finish. It is opening. Eat a food, skullduggery, nepotism, cronyism government.
I Minister would have to answer that question, and the Prime Minister, I'll tell you something, if you ask Markham, who do that question. Someone else said put on site, yeah.
But with the trade deficit widening like that,
Ralston,
and we all agree, you've been telling us that the price of bauxite, aluminum is going up on the world market. We're losing out because of this. Why is it that the government is not coming forward with proper explanation? Obi asked the question, he said something, because I think last year, he said he met with the Chinese last year, and they said that the plant would have been open in the last quarter of 2025.
All right, so the question is why it wasn't open in the last quarter of
2025.
Melissa. He said Melissa.
All right, so Melissa gone off, so right now open up places.
I think he said that the Chinese on the ground was instructed by the Chinese over there to do some more work as it relates to these major storms that are possible in Jamaica before they do anything. It's problem all around, my brother.
So what did you say about the with the U.S. War Department?
I don't remember if he asked him that one, but I'm going to listen.
So the contrast is the Chinese plant is not expanding, but the Americans.
And that's why I asked you the question earlier. The Americans don't want the Chinese around here, but the Chinese are in Canada, where they share a land border with America, unlike us.
Yeah.
Where we depend on doorstep.
Yeah, Canada is a more powerful prime minister, and Canada is a more powerful economy. Simple.
And Canada does not really depend on the US for their survival.
No.
I have a caller here. Let's see if they have a question. Hold on, right.
And the leader is also.
Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, good morning, Kabel.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it was regards to the show with Mr. O'Brien.
Yeah.
I listened to the show today.
Yeah.
And I think it was a fantastic interview.
Okay.
Because one of the things, what some call out for us, that there is some interview that you can't just bombard people and rush them up in a certain type of way.
Okay. All right, caller.
Yeah, man, I tell you.
Obi.
Actually, I'm looking at 21 people watching and we have 8 likes. So, I don't know what's going on with the people on the like button, but they be tripping with the like button. You know what I'm saying? Real talk.
Yeah.
We have Raleigh on the other line. Did you ask Flight Green about the agreement with the American bauxite company and the Jamaican bauxite company?
All right, that's where I started and it segued, because what I did, I put it to them about the situation where the Americans to the Louisiana company here with Miranda. Basically, is moving at pace. And then I want Mark him to say that this is happening against the background that Alpart is our largest producer, our largest plant. And we're not having that conversation. And the minister went on to explain. He didn't say anything. He didn't say anything about the situation with the Department of War and Miranda. However, he moved into answering, talking about the Alpart situation and explain why Alpart is will not be open this year, and talk about the discussion that he is having. So yes, while I drilling down, pointing there and said to him that, listen, why this is happening and why that is happening. But of course, that was brought up into the discussion, and the minister did not say anything about that. He went to the substantive matter that I was talking to him about, which is the Alpart.
Hold on there. So, I have to go block that person here. I have to go block that person here. I have to go block that person here. This person said, I feel sometimes you and others are biased because how much greater is Mark. Look at his constituency. Oh my God. Sandra, how you doing? There is no need for it to look the way that it is and what he's doing differently. I drove by Crossroads and the other day, and by the clock was garbage. So much garbage, it was a disgrace. Married to black woman means nothing. What has it done for the country? May I invite the person for calling. Sandra Wagwan, Selvani Wagwan. This person here, I thought was somebody that supported the platform. And we send them links to the thing. May I delete them number. Especially if they not come on right now, I'm gonna delete them number and block them. Them just wait. Well, if you want to come on, if you want to come watch it live right now, I'm gonna address what you say. I'm gonna take the time out and address what you say. So if you want to come on the live in the comment section, I'm going to address what you say. So if you want to hear, you come now and make yourself known that you're here. If not, me just go move on. Alright, and cut off communication. To be quite honest, because this is absolutely ridiculous. No sense, bro. Madness. Let's go back to this.
To be entertained that listen, why this is happening and why that is happening. Of course, that was brought up into the discussion, and the minister did not say anything about that. He went to the substantive matter that I was talking to him about, which is the Alpart that being have Chinese interest and it's the largest plant from Jamaica, and he explained it. So that was it.
You hear that, Raleigh?
What?
No, I'm asking if you heard Obi a while ago.
Yeah, but why the minister said why the plant now open this year? I don't know when they talk about what.
No man, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying to you, Raleigh, that the minister gave a reason. He talked about the Hurricane Melissa. He talked about the whole thing.
Think we lose. Obi? Think we lost that phone. But Raleigh, as it relates to where we are on the trade deficit, it don't look like we have no plan to fix that anytime soon. Are we going to see that fixed anytime soon?
No, clearly not, because the administration has not announced any plan or put anything in place to deal with it. We also saw the BOJ today trying to mop up 34 billion on it. So that's where the money is going right now.
They were trying to mop up 34 billion. How much was an offer?
34 billion, but the investor has pumped in 58 billion.
That's
59 billion.
59 billion. So the investors want that 6%. Is what? 6% interest rate?
Man, free money, man.
The investors want that 6%. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, if you're here in the chat, say something in the comment section. Oh, so that is you, Gloria Guthrie. Go and look in. No, that's not you. I'm waiting for the person that texts me a while ago to make me know. Say them. Why you text me, let me know. I'm going to take the time out to address what you're saying because this is absolutely ridiculous. I don't understand how Mark Golding's wife and him being married to her and garbage in his constituency. How does those things go together? It's just like, what? What are we actually doing, bro? Yo, I can't make this up, fam. I can't make this up, brother. I don't get it. Are you here? Like, drop a text in the chat if you're here. Let me identify who and see if you're here. Are you the one? The person that texted me on WhatsApp a while ago, so then just wait and text me about Mark Golding. Send me a message in the comment section. If not, me I go move on. Guys, if you don't identify yourself, let me say me I go move on. Alright, because I take the time out to address it thoroughly. I'm gonna make this a case study answer. Because we have to do better as a people, ladies and gentlemen. We have to do better as a people. There's no way. There's absolutely no way.
Now we're going to productive activities that we can get them easy money.
Exactly. From you have the bulk you put in. Yeah. You put in $1 million. 6% of a billion is what? 6 million? 60 million? And what period of time? What's the time period?
Well, when them now run it up. But if you can keep rolling, the good investors them keep rolling their money. So
them running that what?
60 million a year.
We didn't get the period of time.
Them keep rolling. No, I said them the instruments are 30-day instruments, but as I'm saying to you, some investors keep rolling for a whole year.
Yes.
The ones that have excess cash, yeah, just roll.
And you know, and you make the money, so for the year you can easily make 600 million.
Yeah, I'm saying I have to build a factory and then I
Exactly,
to work and
then a problem with staff and paying not all for taxes and
precisely high energy bill and all of them something.
wow. Where are we going?
Yep.
Ralston, one thing I want to put to you before I go, finally. In Port Antonio, the Bank of Nova Scotia is cashless. You can't go into the bank and withdraw nor lodge no money. They only have 2 deposited machines in the entire parish.
Mighty God.
How does the people of Portland get that fixed? You hear me, Raleigh?
No,
go ahead, Jamaica.
I'm saying
Maureen.
that the Bank of Nova Scotia is a cashless bank in Port Antonio. You can neither bring no money to deposit or withdraw no money from the bank. You have to go to the ATM machine. They only have 2 depositing ATM in the entire parish, and they are down 80% of the time they're not working. What option the people of Portland have?
So now God shall move on to talk to them MP and get them MP for push for get the thing up and running, because that's a BOJ responsibility. Them thing they hold back the economy because the people them can't get cash to do them business on time, so they hold back the economy. So apart from protesting and going on the street on them, then people have to get their member of parliament to push more aggressively for them on those things, because it's not just the people in themselves. It affects economic activity, because when you got a machine and you can't get to do a transaction, it has a multiplier effect on the economy.
All right.
Yeah, the BOJ is supposed to fix the problem then. Yeah, so the people have to.
But didn't the BOJ put up some rule that the machines must be up for at least what percentage of the time?
But they have no sanctions, and the man just do whatever they want to do. And only just in your place. And right across Jamaica, the man just do whatever they want to do because there are no sanctions. So if you put up rules and there are no sanctions, if you flout the rules, then that doesn't make no sense. And that happens just a sham. So the economy suffers as a result of that, because remember, as I said, the man can't get the money. When the man can't get the money, he can't go for this or buy when the need for buying.
Exactly.
So the rate when the economy decline and the rate of revenues decline and all of those things.
And business people also are people can't get to deposit money. Well, the business people have a night deposit box that you can drop into, but like individual savings, you can't get to deposit the money either.
Precisely. So it have a significant negative effect on the economy, because people can't get for the transactions and people can't get for large money. That is not good. And we need all them things to be up and running if we get the economy up and running. So all those things are going to make the recovery take longer than it should be. So for example, be a simple example. A shopper sell bully beef, yeah? And they have 12 things of bully beef, and the man don't come buy some bully beef, but they can't get the money. The bully beef them stay on the shelf longer than they need to stay on the shelf. The rate of stock turnover declines. Yes, so the amount of revenue that they generate also decline. Yeah, the amount of PCT that they pay also decline. Yeah, so the Bank of Jamaica have to get its act together with them today. They can't make rules, and then there are no sanctions if the rules are flouted. So the man must ignore them. It's simple.
I see something in the chat room. The IMF predicted that Jamaica's debt to GDP to return to 60% in 10 years. You ever hear that?
Yeah, man. Well, remember again, I said.
Big up Rasta, man. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if the person is still watching, right? Well, listen to my argument. First of all, anybody that is supporting somebody, they are biased. That is a default. Anybody that is supporting a side or a team, they're biased. It's the level of bias that should be looked at. The level of bias. Right? So I am saying, one of the things you have to do, because the person that texts me, the argument that they're coming with, it doesn't seem as if they understand how government works. When it comes to garbage collection, it has nothing to do with your MP. That's local government. As a matter of fact, that have to do with the ministry of Desmond McKenzie ministry. When it comes to having enough trucks in the country to make sure so they can collect garbage, the NSWMA, that not have nothing to do with Mark Golding. It has nothing to do with Mark Golding. It has to do with the administration that is running the country. So I am saying, the comment what the person sent me, I'm like, yo, really? What? What does that have to do with Mark Golding and his wife? It's a confusing comment. It's not a well-structured thought. It's not. Listen to exactly what the person said. You people can be a little biased. The first was, I feel sometimes you and others are biased because how much greater is Mark? Look at his constituency. And I'm saying, first of all, do you know that MPs don't get funding? They don't get the actual money for their constituency. Like, all of the projects now goes through the government and whatever agency is doing whatever work in the constituency. The road them. I mean, Andrew Honest was said this in Parliament last year. Do not blame the MPs and tell the MPs to be careful of what they're promising the people to win their votes. He clearly outlined what was the actual powers that the MPs had. So if you're not engaged enough into the politics and the runnings of things, you're going to sound ignorant when you comment on it. This is an ignorant statement about the man constituency. What is actually the actual responsibility of the MP? That is the first thing you have to pray, you know. The MP advocates on behalf of his constituency or her constituency. Especially if they're not the ruling party. Mighty God, it's an uphill battle, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you. It is an uphill battle. We saw in Parliament the other day, Mr. Fitzjackson had to get up. Do I need to play what Mr. Fitzjackson said the other day for you to understand the gravity of the uphill battle that the People's National Party and any opposition in Parliament, especially with the Jamaica Labour Party that's ruling? The man put in questions to the Speaker of the House and months after, before the questions are brought up in a debate. And Mr. Wemname, Fly Green, Mr. Champagne popping no movement there. The man said these questions are put out there and she is the gatekeeper. The Speaker of the House is the gatekeeper. So we have to understand the challenges that the MP have represent themselves, is my point. That's the first thing. Secondly, why are we talking about Mark Golding married to a woman? I and this person never have no conversation about Mark Golding married to a woman, you know. Personally, you know. I was responding to the foolishness. And any well-thinking Jamaican can admit that this is foolishness. Right? Marlon Morgan going on nationwide talking about the reason why Mark Golding going against Kadisha Rochester appointment is because he doesn't support strong black women. What kind of foolishness that? The man has been supporting a strong black woman how much years now? His wife, a maroon, I have black children. So am I being biased in saying that, or did I state a fact? It's foolishness. And then you're going to say married to a black woman means nothing. What has he done for the country? Do you really want me to go there? You know why people not getting locked up for spliff? Mark Golding. You know why people don't have criminal records for spliff? Mark Golding. You know why the people that got previously locked up for spliff, them actual criminal record is cleared? Mark Golding. The fiscal papers that actually make the country financially stable and it led to GDP going down, Mark Golding, as a part of it, was integral in forming that legislation. You know why the IC does what it does, Mark Golding. And he's not the Prime Minister yet. These are facts. These are not feelings. These are not feelings. So I'm just like, what? You drove past Crossroad. Do you know how many other constituencies? Have you ever been to Andronis's constituency? Sir, ma'am, I don't even know. You never told me a name. Have you saved as YT? Service was at a name. You know when you save somebody's name and them already have a name was saved? I don't even know the person's name. But just put YT on it and say YouTube. Anybody in my phone, when you see YT on it, that's YouTube. You might see even YT and TikTok because they're on TikTok and YouTube. But come on, man, this is a weak argument. Do you know how many constituencies you can drive through and see garbage piled up? There's a problem all around the island. How does that? What? Bro, I don't even understand, fam. Calling me out as bias when everybody is biased, but it's the level of bias. Look at what is happening with UHWI. What is nationwide and all of the JLP bloggers then focused on? Not the facts about the case now. Trying to pin something on Dr. Alfred Dawes and Mr. Dennis Gordon. What did we say? Myself and others. No, the person said that they're not PNP and JLP. Them don't like either of them. Them no rate none of. That's what them say. I'm not going to try and even. I don't care. But the argument is asinine, fam. That's why we say we have to do better. We have to do better. We cannot be doing this. Right? You ask me what Mark Golding done for the country. I've named many things without him being the Prime Minister. Many things that are more impactful than what Andrew has ever done. What Mark Golding did with legislation where marijuana is concerned affected hundreds and thousands of people's lives in Jamaica. JLP and PMP. Some people used to have to swallow their weed when police are come. Mark Golding has done many things legislative-wise that affects our lives in a positive way. These are all facts. This is not feelings. You don't have to vote for him. You don't have to vote for anybody at all. But understand the facts, innit? Mark Golding is way better. Mark Golding actually has integrity. Andrew Honeysis has none. Still not certified. And now his friend is in the FID. His business partner and friend is in his office of the Prime Minister. His wife is the Speaker of the House. Nepotism, cronyism, all type of skullduggery. Kedisha, what this all have to do with? Kedisha Rochester, clearly a JLP operative and working in a capacity that is, you're supposed to be apolitical, which means you're not supposed to have a bias on any side. We have to do better. The genesis of the conversation surrounding Mark Golding's wife came from the nonsense that Marlon Morgan spoke on Revolt. I mean, he actually said it out of his mouth. It's unbelievable, you know? don't know how they live with themselves. I don't know how they sleep at night. I don't know how their conscience not kill them, bro. Some of the things them with them say, it is ridiculous. You see, if you are saying something where you believe about a person, and you have evidence to back up where you believe, based off of the things them with them do, them actions and stuff like that, that's a cogent, you understand? But you can't have a polar opposite situation, bro. That is more than bias, you're just plain lying. The man has a beautiful wife and beautiful children, black children. The man supports women in the party. Ask the woman them in the party. They came to him and said to him, we want a more such and such role. We want this and we want that. And he's facilitated them and supported the women's movement and supported the women in the party. And everybody knows his heart is for who? Thank you, his wife. There's no question about that. Not like Andrew at everybody bubblegum. Him and the girls them bubblegum. You know, there was once a time, you know, when a leader of a country, if you were not married, you couldn't be a leader of a country. Did you guys know that? You were not seen as somebody that is structured that could move a nation forward. The standard was to be married and be faithful. If you were unfaithful in your marriage at one time as a leader of any country, it could really mean you losing and never winning again. Did you guys know that? There's a certain standard that comes with the head of leadership. And I appreciate the person for bringing this up, because it pushed me into having this conversation. A truthful conversation about Mark Jefferson Golding and what he has actually done and what he has contributed, even without being the Prime Minister of Jamaica. You guys are hung up on race. A lot of you that don't like Mark Golding, you're hung up on race. And it's sad. It's sad because I always go back to, when it comes to slavery and the history of slavery, some of our biggest traitors were our own people. And that's facts. That is a fact. 1, 2, 3, big up. That is a harsh reality and a fact. The people that were sell out us the most for us to even be in the situation that we were in was our own people. And when it was time for the Underground Railroad to be successful, it was some of those same white people that helped us to maneuver safely through the Underground Railroad in America. What are you doing, Leroy? So the point of the matter is, you have good and bad people that are white and good and bad people that are black. It's not all peachy anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. People are people. Now, when they're talking about fallen angels, that's a whole different thing. When they're talking about biblical shapeshifters, that's a whole other conversation, obviously. But if you're talking about regular human beings, it is what it is. Whether they're black or white, whether they're Indian or whatever. Obviously, culture is going to affect you in some capacity. Wow. Thank you, though. Thank you for making that comment. The more I thought about it, I was like, garbage? Find something else, man. Have you been to Jonas' constituency? Have you seen the gutters in the ghetto? Have you seen some of the roads? The schools that are shut down? As a prime minister, if we were to really judge Andrew Oles of his constituency, you know that it would amplify his failure as a leader. Because his own constituency is not the beacon of the things that he sells the people on in terms of what he wants for Jamaica. His constituency is not the microcosm wealth and prosperity and growth and great education, coming out of. And no, it is not. It is not. It's quite the opposite. Extreme beauty, big up. It is quite the opposite. Get off from my page. My qualification is that I have a brain and I can observe. Talking about what's the qualification. Young idiot. Absolutely madness, fam. Sure.
Found the video yet, but let me show you the protocol in escorting prisoners. So then you can see a lot of breaches that the DPP had done. And the DPP should know better. This is a lot of serious breach. So, all right. So, based on legal framework in Jamaica, including the Corrections Act and standard minimum rules for treatment of prisoners, the protocol for escorting prisoners focuses on security, safety, and confidentiality, while protecting them from public view and curiosity. Now, key aspect of prisoners escort protocol in Jamaica. Bulletin point number 1, security and safety. Prisoners are to be transported in a manner that ensures their safety and the security of the public and officers, avoiding unnecessary exposure to public. Melting Pot had mentioned, as it relates to the Black Maria, that for the appropriate process to escort prisoners. Number 2, transportation units. The Department of Correctional Service or the Jamaica Conservative Force is responsible for transportation. In some instances, specialized secure vehicles are used. Now, while specific minute-by-minute protocols are not publicly detailed, standard procedure dictates that prisoners are restrained, handcuffed, chained, while being moved to prevent escape. As we know it, Kevin Smith was not even handcuffed. So Paula Llewellyn herself had broken all the rules. Now, medical emergency. If a prisoner is required medical attention during transport, they must be taken to medical facilities. Officers must ensure the prisoner is not left alone, and that restraints are only removed at the direction of a medical staff. Right?
Yeah.
So look at that. The key regulations governing transport, the Correction Act, the Correction Act dictates that inmates may be taken beyond the limits of a correctional facility for authorized purposes under escort.
Hey, has a DPP ever been locked up? Has a DPP ever been charged with crime and prosecuted? Questions.
Standard minimum rules applied in Jamaica. These require the transport be done in ventilated vehicles and prevent unnecessary physical hardship. It is important to note that the Department of Correctional Service works under the Ministry of National Security, which was faced challenges with overpopulation, often impact the logistics of prisoners. Let us take this away and have Brother Ratty. You understand? Based on that information now, Brother Ratty. So you see very well that, of course, right, Paula Llewellyn had made some...
It would fall under impeachment. Okay, I got you. Smash up the like button, guys. Let's go. Thank you.
Serious flaw. But again, Brother Ratty, what would be the reason that they want him to be killed? Because obviously, as it relates to the escort guidelines and policies, right, Paula Llewellyn, the police officers would have broken all the rules. Number 1, during escort, he was not handcuffed. Number 2, he shouldn't have been escorting in the vehicle that he was escorting in. It should be escorting in a secure vehicle. So let me have you on that input, brother.
Wow.
Yeah, well, now that you show that, I wasn't aware of it, but now that you show it, it would appear that it's not only the DPP that her action would be called into question, but the JCF, because he wasn't transported by correction, it was by JCF, because she would give the order and they would be responsible for the travel, the safety, the security. So the first thing is, why did you need him to come to Kingston? And the second one would be, how come he wasn't protected as per protocol? Because I think it says somewhere in there that a high value prisoner, you have to provide special vehicle or something like that.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So, but I'm glad you're highlighting it, but sadly, them close the case, but at least we'll let people know, say, well, right now, boy, we understand the nature of what's going on here, because it just seems highly irregular, all of these things. From the moment they say, okay, we're going to send him to Kingston, we said, no. And that's why I asked if he had an attorney, because if he had an attorney, his attorney should have argued that, no, don't bring him to Kingston. The crime occurred. He's a resident in St. James. The crime occurred in St. James.
Yes.
We have a jury pool in St. James. We have courts in St. James. We have police in St. James. So why are you going to bring him to Kingston?
But what?
Hey, these are solid probes, These are solid probes into those incidents. That particular incident, sorry. I never understood that. I wasn't on YouTube at that time, like really doing this, to be honest with you. But I was hearing about the case because it was so loud. And I heard that the man died in a car accident, innit? That's not happened to Mr. The guy, the one when I said he must sacrifice people and them something like. Not true. That's what happened to him, right? But I never knew the man. This is incredible. It was very suspicious, like, man. And then wasn't Horace Chang personally on the ground? I know I saw at least a little footage, because what happened in those times, my mother used to watch the news, on that big thing. You see every night Andre on? Yeah, man, the big flat screen. My mother used to be in our room. Kevin Smith. My mother used to be in our room, and she would connect the phone to the TV, and my mother would have been in her bed and listen to Andre. And I might be in my other room doing something, and she might have called me to and say, why? She has said, son, no man. I walk going to Jamaica and to Osha one. Me I say, mommy, what you talk about? And she say, she said, the man them kill the man. And how he look and real, me I say, yo, that look how you still for you, And that's how the conversation would like normally end. I never really looked into it or look any further into it or follow up the story. Or next time she might have did the same way and I thought about this something them we are going for Andre and I saw. But my mother has been watching Andre for a long time. Mark Stewart, Peter Chambers, Jeffrey Shuttleworth, even the gentleman before Jeffrey Shuttleworth. My mother always talked about it. The man said she could have heard him saying goodbye spiritually the last time he spoke on the radio. She could have, it's like she had said, wow, I wonder if anybody else see that this man is going to the throne room of heaven. He was ascending and he was saying goodbye in that broadcast. And a lot of the things that he prophesied about the government and everything that's happening in Jamaica, it has occurred after he passed away. So you hear people talking about people are false prophet. Look into the Bible, man. Some of the prophecies them not come yet and then people are dead long time. You cannot time the prophecy them, ladies and gentlemen. The prophets only get the word, listen the word, observe the word, try the spirit, and move on. And watch what I want. Simple. I saw me do it, Yes, man. True.
You want now? And I'm glad you brought up that. Because of the urgency in terms of taking him out. He wasn't given a lawyer. He didn't have an access to a lawyer.
What?
Yeah,
He
well,
did not get a
that's
chance.
a problem. That's a problem.
Serious, Ratty. He did not get a chance to even have a lawyer.
That's problematic.
That's a problem. The moment you restrain the person's
Yes, there are
movement,
two
right?
fundamental
The moment
rights.
the person is not free to go, especially if you say, well, you're under arrest, the person should be afforded the right to an attorney right there and then.
That's his
Exactly.
Because here's what, because what happens is that you don't want your client talking, you know, making utterances, and that's why it's important for them for the attorney to be present, so that the attorney, or if not present, at least not present physically, but by phone, so
By
you can say,
phone.
listen, don't say a word, I'll be right there. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I'll join the motorcade. So big problems.
But Ratty, based on the evidence that we are seeing, it would suggest that the government, the state, want him to be killed very fast.
Well, based on the videos that you show on the company that he was keeping and the activities he was involved in, it's fair to say that he had secrets for a lot of people in that places. And so they couldn't allow somebody like that to sit down and start talk, because, you know, of course, he would have to make a deal, and part of that deal would be tell us what you know, and who knows all. But remember, no, we all have situations which part people end up dead.
Yes.
In a situations where they're not supposed to happen. Nothing like that's supposed to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have people dead in a prison, fire, all kinds of things happening.
All right.
That happen.
All right. Well, Ratty, here we are getting now. We are getting a big case tonight.
Hit me.
Big case tonight. We are getting Jamaica people on the state diet, getting a coffee, right? Biscuit, crackers, or whatever we are getting in the big.
Want to hear that? Get to no coffee, get to no crackers, get to no little bucket of water or a big one like mine. I get my water done. No worries. No man, this good enough for me. Can go and sit that. My friend said, my darling friend said I shouldn't drink the water fast. I should just kiss it. Mm-hmm. True. That's all. Just kiss it.
Case tonight. Let me go and change the screen. Melting pot. Gear for sale. Make sure so you have the GPMG right side of you. Now we can get in a big case. So we want to get in tonight. Big case.
Let's go.
Now,
Let's go.
honey, without any delay, let me give you the information to put up what big get me wife. Because now people are going to prison, and me not lie you. Let me say this, Ratty and Melting Pot. You know, say like the DPP are very serious. It looked like Claudia Thompson now play. Yeah, let me read it. Let me read it. Because I don't want no mistake make again and them not hear it. We don't want to make no mistake. Right, people? Should try it a different way. If you not hear it,
Let me look on the phone in the chat.
you understand? Make we ask, we are trying to use the AI
Yeah man, read aloud.
to see the truth a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, ready?
Ready?
You are
All right.
Yo, and that's why I do it too, you know. Yo, people don't understand, you see. This is what we do here. Every job has what you call occupational illnesses and ailments. An occupational ailment of person that uses their voice a lot. That's why sometimes you have to like take your time and rest it. You understand? Yeah, man. True. All the muscles have to get rest. That's why I play the read aloud most of the time. Mm-hmm. So the best thing for do.
Let me know if you're hearing it.
You hear it, Melting Pot?
No, you're not yet to know.
Okay, all right. Melting Pot.
Hold on, let me just get rid of that. Okay.
All right, Melting Pot. You can't read it out for me because I want, my throat sort of.
You can't read it out. Come on the screen because it.
All right. Yeah, we are going.
Alright, the title.
You see it?
All right, see it, yes or no? Yeah?
All right.
Criminal case against former SSL executive. Move from parish court to Supreme Court. Scroll up. All right, come up.
You get it?
You ever see it now on the big screen? The criminal case against three former executives of the collapsed investment firm Stock and Securities Limited, SSL, have been transferred to the Supreme Court. The case against SSL Growth Equity Limited and Delta Capital Partners Limited have also been transferred. The move by this country's top prosecutor was announced on Monday when the three former SSL executives appeared in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court. Director of Public Prosecution Claudette Thompson used her constitutional powers to all case before the parish court, prosecutor disclosed. Instead, Thompson's office indicated that a voluntary bill of indictment would be used to move the case to the Supreme Court. Hugh Croskery, founding director of SSL, his daughter Sarah Meany, and former SSL Chief Executive Officer Zachary Hardy have each been charged with fraudulently inducing persons to invest, failure to register a company, carrying on business in Jamaica, carrying on a securities business without a dealer license, breaches of the Banking Service Act, and failure to apply to the Financial Service Commission to be registered for a securities issue. SSL collapsed in January 2023 amid allegation of a $4 billion fraud. Law enforcement officials declined to comment on whether additional charges will be filed against the former executive of the company. However, King Counsel Jacqueline Samuel Brown, the attorney representing Harding, indicated in court that the prosecutor have signaled there are other aspects of the case they need to address.
All right.
Barrett. Yeah.
All right. Let me take that away, right, and speak to Brother Ratty. Thank you for reading that.
Get away,
now,
pick up.
Brother Ratty, you are the legal mind. Take us through what that means in terms of bypassing the
circuit court
and just go straight to Supreme. Yeah, what does that mean? What? Let me just have you come in and speak to us in relation to what.
It shows a seriousness of intent and purpose. It shows, at least at this point,
yes,
it's showing that she means well in terms of getting justice.
Yes.
For the people of Jamaica, for the investors, and for the system itself. Because the system, as we know, the system has been tainted for such a long time that it's refreshing to see somebody trying to do something to say, okay, let's bring a measure of justice to it. Now, I must tell you this though, that this lady, the same lady, she has a history of failing on the big cases. I don't have the, wait a minute, I think I have it right.
Really?
I think I have it here. I just saw it and have it here.
But Ravi, she put her mate land.
Yeah, but hold on a second. She put her mate land, but here's what happened. There was the NEPA case where she was the acting DPP. There was the Vibes Cartel case where she was the lead prosecutor as acting DPP. There was the Javan Garwood case where she was the lead prosecutor. There was a Dante Brooks case where she was the lead prosecutor. There was a Uchense case where she was a co-counsel with Jeremy Taylor. There was a King Valley case where she was the lead prosecutor. There was a Klansman case where she was a co-counsel with Jeremy Taylor. There was a Dwayne Smart case where she was the lead prosecutor. There was a Cash Plus case where she was the lead prosecutor. All of these cases went down the tubes. No, all I'm doing, I'm just giving people a history. Now, does it mean that she won't do better this time? No, it doesn't mean that. But I'm just saying, before we start jump up and down and clap and things like that, just if we do it, do it to the measure.
Yes.
Do the measure of caution to say, hey, you know what, she did it before, but now we see where she's trying to do something. And so we'll give her the benefit of the doubt. Right?
I agree with Mr. Wilratigan. Earlier I was speaking to some colleagues and I was saying the same thing. Let us wait and see. Let us see where this goes. Because I was a bit apprehensive. I was like, wait a minute. With the SSP thing, Mr. Cameron, I was like, that kind of threw me off, like, huh? She's recommending charges on Mr. Cameron. I'm like, yo, DPP, y'all going good so far, you know? You know, you sure say alright over there? Sure say nobody not juke on their side? Nobody not try strong arm you? You know? I was asking myself that, man. But me say, you know what? Let us see. Let us see where this goes. So I agree with Mr. Wilratigan. But that's a lot. That rap sheet of failure. I am wondering if the former DPP had anything to do with her just not having those wins in those situations. Is it possible, ladies and gentlemen? Could it be? Could it be?
The one thing I would like to see her do though, is this. Tell the people what is the level of exposure these people are facing. What do I mean by that? Tell us how much time they might look at if found guilty. And what are the possible options for the sentencing? That's what I would like to see. Because if you go back and you look again, most of those, if you go back and you look at it, most of them are they're like administrative failings. Failure to file, failure to this, failure to notify. There's one, the first one, the larceny or something like that. Please go back to that for me.
Oh, okay. Let me just go back to the document. We didn't close all that. Okay. All right.
All right. There it is. Fraudulent inducing persons to invest.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Putting that one aside, right? Can you move Adrian Francis's comment, please? Because I can't. I'm a blackout part of the thing.
Oh.
And Adrian said much too early to expect anything from a new DPP. But Adrian, remember now, she's not exactly a new DPP because she's acted in that capacity.
Exactly.
If you remember when they had a constitutional event and they had to send home the then DPP Paula Llewellyn, she was in charge of the office. Now, granted, a lot of things just didn't get done because she suspected that she would come back, and she did come back. So you don't want the things that that later on will be overturned, overruled, or whatever. But look at this, right? It says you're charged with fraudulently inducing persons to invest. All right, that's a serious charge. Look at the others. Failure to register, carrying on a securities business without a dealer's license, breaches of the banking services, and failure to apply to the Financial Security Services Division, got commission to be registered for securities issue. Those 4 charges, they're mainly administrative in nature. They're not. What you get for that, you get fined. For most of those 4 charges, you get fined. The other one, you're at a risk of going to prison. So I would like the DPP to come out and say, hey, this is what we're aiming for. This is what we're aiming for. And that's perfectly legitimate for her to say, this is what they're facing. Even if she doesn't,
like they will come out in other countries, they'll come out and say, because the DPP would be the state. So the state is looking to prosecute and get this result. Yeah, it's normal for them to say that. That's true.
I'll tell you what the options are. She can say, this is what they're facing. I would like to know that. So, we'll see.
Are you still using the document, Rafi?
No, thank you.
Okay, all right. But here my thing, Brother Rafi, that these charges, right, has the possibility to have other connected charges that can be very serious.
That's true. They can supersede it. You're right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so then I think what we are seeing though, right, it's some good sign that, some seriousness, as you say, seems to imply here.
It look more promising.
Right, it look good on the face of it. But as you said, we are not to give all high hopes and so forth and take precaution.
Yeah, you know what I'd like to say? I would like to say who she's going to assign to argue this case. Or to prosecute this case. I would like to say is she doing it herself? Because she's very experienced, no doubt about it. She's been around for a while, she's very experienced. Too bad they lost Jeremy, I think he's down now in Turks and Caicos, right? But I would like to say who's gonna prosecute this case. They have Miss Pike. Miss Pike is there, but Miss Pike, right now, Miss Pike is on another case. She's on the case with the police officers who have been charged with murder. And that case is being defended by Hugh Wildman.
Yes.
That case is going on right now. So I don't know if she's going to get Miss Pike to come over and take care of this, or she has some other attorney in mind, but I'm just hoping that it's not somebody with little experience. I'm just hoping it's not that. Because she's going up against Bert Samuels' sister.
Yes. I almost guarantee that dealing with a financial case with this level of
nature, yes,
they would want to pick some very good people to prosecute this case, right? People with experience.
Yeah,
right?
man.
And just in terms of my own, not saying that I am 100%.
All right. Let me ask you a melting pot. Let me ask both of you a question then.
Yes.
we say the 5 charges, right?
Yes.
You, both of you know this case here far better than I could ever hope to know this case. I know this case here inside out. Are there more serious charges that you believe should have been brought against these defendants?
Yes.
At this
I think
I believe so.
what I am somewhat, disappointed with, although I am saying that, other connected charges may come later, is to see where, I would prefer the charge under the Fraud Act, right? Which that would signify or signal more seriousness and more gravity as it relates to the level of charge, that gravity of charge, right? Just like what Pantan, right? Gene and Pantan charged with.
Yes.
Right? If those charges leveled against them as it relates to Gene and Pantan, but we don't know. We don't know if, that is in the making. To me, right, in terms of looking at it, and here is where it is very, I'm somewhat meticulous. If you look at the crowd report, Brother Ratty, the special investigators, the very skillful forensic investigators, make recommendation for charges. I don't know if they are going to might look on, the recommendation of the forensic experts in this case, and may go along within that line. So I am saying that, I don't want to speak yet in terms of saying, okay, all right, these are only the charges, right, being there. Right. I almost 100% certain that other charges may come. Right?
Before you jump in and provide an answer, for me, it's just interesting that with Gene and Pantan, they never wait to bring the serious charges. Them just hit out serious charges right away. And if you think about it, she's probably the smallest player in the group.
Yes.
If you think about it.
Yes.
And they never hesitate to just hit out with the big charges. So why is it that they meet them with basically 4, they have 1 charge, melting pot?
Well, melting pot. One of the questions that I want to ask, is it a situation that the possibility that they can use Gene and Pantan as crown witness?
Yes.
Well, problem with it. Melting pot.
Yes, when we look on this case, this case has serious implications, you understand? And this is why they move away from Federal Bureau Investigator. Fraud. Because, FBI have investigating powers and arresting powers, but CRAL only have investigating powers. No, they couldn't have bring in FBI, because FBI would have, hit the nail on the head right here and then. But in the CRAL report, it states that, charges are to be made. And then now the CRAL report going to a file 13. You understand? And so we know that cover-up is the order of the day. Because you can't spend $120 million worth of taxpayers' money, to seek clarity on a scandal where rock the island. But then when time the work been done and paper been submitted to you as a ruling government, you put it in a file 13 or it under Andrew King size bed asleep and or something like that.
Not good.
You understand? But it's the same.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's one of the reasons why they fought so hard to not surrender Jamaica to the People's National Party. Oh, these documents would have been risen up. These documents would have been publicized. And oh my God. The potential of exposure.
Same type of game play already as it relates to the 90s meltdown, the Pinsac report. So it seems like Jamaica Labour Party government does not like to release any form of report as it relates to document that evidence.
They are not transparent and they don't like to be held accountable. That is a fact about the Jamaica Labour Party.
In regards to fraud and theft, where their party affiliated members are implicated. So when we look on that now, we know the full scale of what going on. But we say I'm trying to deflect the actual crime, which is stealing investors' money, and try to pin it on a little simple fish, a little ticky, Gene and Pantan. When we know the big old blue marlin in them are swimming in the water, and we know the blue marlin in them, you understand? So when them want take now as for them part of it, what I call it now, investigation. It's a simple little charge over here at the top about, like not having a license to operate. That's simple charge. We are talking about the hardcore actual criminality in taking the people's money under false pretense. Scamming the people through means of corruption. Selling a narrative that did not exist. There was no actual investment being undertaken by SSL. SSL was merely selling a bandolo gadget, and people buy it and end up lose all their investment. So the right thing supposed to do right now is just charge these people to what we know when we sit on the book in front of it. Gene and Pantan cannot move all these amount of money. The simple fact of the matter, Gene and Pantan need more than one signature to authorize any check which she want to make up. I remember the bank, they know the signature. The bank know the authorized signature where it look like. So the simple fact of the matter, yeah, that is only Gene and Pantan alone who them bring the actual crime part. We know that it's a no-go show. She alone can't do the work for them at all. But we know the big room all in them do the work because them set it like that. Them can't get through with anything because them well rigged the corruption ring, you know. Protection is here even from Financial Service Commission, FSC, I protect them. Stock Exchange, I protect them. We know a Key Duncan over there, so. We know the same Lecky, they are FSC, Jacqueline, Lecky or Lekka where she want him from Stuart Auto Supply. Yeah. We know the whole corruption ring. We know some Mark Croskery. I came and draw down the big whack of investors' money. Yeah, they look ticky them go around to Gene and Pantan and some other people. Investors like Bolton, they look whole year with the 60 million. And the Croskery them angle that. And the money they don't really sit down in a SSL. The money they move to more secure location. Places like bank. They have a bank where they work with. The money that's going to sell and go clean and funnel through a certain loophole. Yeah? So, we know people will get charged. Yeah? The 4 people that I look on to get charged relating to theft.
Disha, what's up?
Not this little licensing thing where we see them up. The real charge is about stealing the people investment. And we're talking about billions, so I don't see how them want to look on this thing like it's a little small object. This is a huge object in front of it. And it must come with the type of level of punishment that it requires. This is a major racketeering, the biggest one in the history of Jamaica. You can't just treat this like a kindergarten. No, you have to treat this like an adult. Full force of the law. Remember the crash to them involved in similar activity, you know. The daddy, you know, from Paul Chiller and Associate, Eagle Merchant Bank. It's not like it's a first offender. It's a serial offender. I remember it's not the first of this type of corruption scheme. It's the third. And I mean, the players, them remain the same, basically, in terms of affiliation. You might have 1 and 2 individual chains, yeah? But in the sense of Ukraskiri, Banker, and Jamaica Labour Party, those are the 3 components that coincide with all the fancy schemes. When it's not Dan Crawford as the banker, it's leeching. When it's not Siaga as the Prime Minister, it's holiness. And the party is always the Jamaica Labour Party.
Respect.
They have the conglomerate that is,
like
you
up
know,
alive, guys. Let's
inside
get to
and it's web of
20,000
corruption.
likes.
And for them people, and for them thing, it's their project, that is one we have to brand it, hard-earned investors' money. You understand? They have done it more than 1, 2 times, 3 times, and it's carrying on. And I mean, the man use the mechanism, you know, and get away. Because from the FinSAC report was not made publicly, so that people could have got a person view as to what is the real substance within that investigation. To prove who were the stakeholders, who were the main big players in it. To have highlighted what we know. So they kept it under wraps. And they do the same thing with the SSL. This is why they could not bring FBI. FBI would have investigated, and where people found in breach of corruption, they would have been arrested and charged. But with Crown can only do a comprehensive investigation, whether forensic or whatever, means of investigation. That's all they can do. They cannot do the actual arresting. So Nigel Clark play a good tune. We know him at the Piper Boy. He play a...
You see Harley, him? Brother, God not sleep, bro. There's nowhere they can hide. Everybody were involved in anything nefarious that put this country in the wrong direction, gotta give them a page. And I tell her that. No joke. No joke.
June, when they trick the Jamaican people up and say, FBI will be here, we're not even in the 2 and 3rd. Nigel Clark knew right there and then himself the people alive. Even though they're not going to FBI. Because remember, you know, Nigel Clark come out and rubber stamp the box of FBI them on the ground in Jamaica. And an individual close to them said, no, FBI not there. Lie them and tell. So Nigel Clark, the black man boy, played the Jamaican public at large. This is why Andrew Wallace was trying to distance himself. Andrew Wallace know the serious level of corruption with them carry out. That's why he might distance himself in the beginning. In the initial phase, himself not know of nobody from the party. And it not involved. But then further investigation proves them take out fee money if nowhere gone. Then you hear about what we know about from the whistleblower. So we know a lot about this case. Ratty know about the case too. But we might not discuss it as often as we have this thing.
Yo, no, brother, if you don't know watch Mystic Sensation, I don't know what you guys are doing, man. Y'all need to go subscribe, bro. Yo, Melting Pot don't play, bro. Melting Pot does not play, bro. I don't know what he knows, but he knows something. He don't play.
But right, you know, said, man, for that prison, man. The whole bunch and them for that prison. And we are talking about from the Prime Minister to him associate them. Nigel Clark to come back and go to prison. Because you have to use all of them to make example, you know? You can't allow this thing to continue. It happen more than 2 times.
Mighty God.
And then get away with it. And every time when millions of dollars taxpayers' money pay to do a comprehensive analysis of what takes place by bringing in investigator, them sleep on the report. It never been made public to Jamaicans. So we can't have this type of administration who literally bully the nation.
Yeah.
Do as them like, regardless of what the situation.
Yes.
Yeah, where the outcome is concerned, they are in charge of the outcome. Yeah. So now we need something of a new renaissance to come and shake up the whole justice system.
Yes.
So if Miss Claudia Thompson gonna come and do it, you know, I welcome her, but I look on her through my corner eye because I want to see how much we actively pursue these high-level criminals that we have in Jamaica and bring them to justice in a swift and timely manner. Where we don't have to be wondering about statute of limitation. That must be taken off the book.
True.
We need to see a drastic reduction, as it relates to the over 3,000 high-profile case that is in the judicial system that is not being looked at to rectify in terms of getting results where justice is concerned by whichever party. Right now, the taxpayers and the investors in Jamaica have been taken for a long holiday ride by the incumbent government. Where we have seen them misappropriate taxpayers' money to the tune of billions of dollars. Where we have seen them come up with Ponzi scheme that orchestrated a mission and a move to defraud investors of billions of dollars. And they have been relatively unscathed. Nobody go and pursue them. Yeah. They have been unscathed. Just look at Royal Reid. How long we know of Royal Reid defrauding the Ministry of Education to the tune of several million.
Yo, we're not going to go there go get the rest of that. Yo, Melting Pot, don't play, man. Yo, don't get him started, you know? Yo, don't get Melting Pot started, bro. Don't get Melting Pot started. He done serious with it, bro. Oh my God, hold on. Melting Pot. No, you know, I wasn't going to go to PDTV, but listen. There's one thing in play upon it when I have to go to. I don't touch upon the other something. And I have to go watch that to myself, but one thing in play when I have to go to. Night. Yeah, man. One thing Andre play night. I left the other part them alone. But this is the part here. That part. Yes, it's that part. Yes, this part.
They said to the media,
But what kind of influence do they still have? And this is the troubling part now. Because the politician has seen influence disappear where their ability to direct their goons to commit serious crime is concerned. And no.
First of all, which politicians is he talking about? Where is he getting knowledge of politicians that have goons? They're losing their influence. Say what?
Yeah. But what kind of influence do they still have? And this is the troubling part now. Because the politician has seen influence disappear where their ability to direct their goons to commit serious crime is concerned.
So Jazz Davis is suggesting that there's politicians that have goons that they direct to commit serious crimes. Let us establish that. Which politician you want to talk about? But let's continue.
And now the power that the politician has and the influence is wielded through getting goons to destroy people's reputations on social media.
Okay, so the politicians is getting goons online to destroy people's reputation on social media. Which politician am I talking about?
That's where it has gone. That's where the power and influence of the politician is now present.
That's where the power of the politician is now present. So, if that is the case, is he suggesting that this is where the power of Andrew Honest is? Andrew Honest has power. Andrew Honest is the Prime Minister, and he is a politician. So is he suggesting that Andrew Honest and his government have goons online that are there to destroy people's reputation so that the politician then can maintain power? Is that what he's indeed saying, ladies and gentlemen? Bolo, if Shah come and see and tell them, he believe them.
Make no mistake about it. The people you see making all kinds of videos, the people you see posting all kinds of lies, not even nonsense, lies, daily, weekly, systematically, they are not doing it for free.
I think he's telling the truth, because the JLP vloggers is who I see posting lies constantly, weekly, daily. And he's saying that they're getting paid for it. So I have identified Jazz Davis. And even your channel, Jazz Davis. I have identified that you guys come out and post lies and misinformation on a daily and weekly basis. And tear down people's character. So are you paid goons? And based off your material does not benefit the PNP, so who is paying it? But then again, there's an allegation surrounding the taxes of that particular organization in the tune of $1.5 billion. Don't sound good, brother. Is this a confession, Jazz Davis? Are you confessing? These are his confessions.
They are being paid to do so. They are highly coordinated. And these groups exist across the big political divide. Make no mistake about it. They do. So these are highly coordinated. And these groups exist across the big political divide. Make no mistake.
What do you mean the groups are existing across the big political divide? Are you suggesting that there's groups on the PNP and the JLP? Are you suggesting that the PNP has goons and paid operatives that are coordinated? That are, let me tell you something, ladies and I have no financial irregularities. My money comes from one source. I have no, my thing can be audited and yes, everything. You hear what I said? I have no irregularities where my money is concerned. I ain't getting paid to do this. I am a concerned citizen. I have observed. I have analyzed. I have heard arguments on both sides. But what I see is what I see. That's why I go back to the old videos of Andrew Holness and some of the things that he promised, and from time to time I put out a video. I'm saying, wait a minute, but I know I heard Andrew Holness say this. Guys, you remember when Andrew Holness talk about the light and how am I going to bring the light and the big... I'm just going to talk to this and just play what I say. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I'm just going to play what him say. Yeah, man, and Joe just run out, man. I say, yo, this, you know, I make commitments. Yeah, man. Where you come from? Send me back, send me back. Heavy eagle arrow. Anywhere you come from? Send me back. Reverse the curse. Reverse the yard. That's somebody say. Reverse the curse. Aye. Reverse the yard. Listen to this. Listen to this.
One of the things that I know affecting whole heap of people in Jamaica is the high electricity bill. When the PMP come into power, them say them go and bring down electricity costs. What has happened since? Electricity costs keep rising. They promised that by 2016 they would have made the JPS more efficient with more efficient plants. That's not going to happen till another 2 years. And before you know it, it will be another 3 or 4 years before them actually do it. The Labour Party will make sure that we put in place more efficient electricity generated plants to bring down the cost of electricity to you. I don't like to make promise. I make commitment. And under the Labour Party government, we are going to ensure that we bring to this country the big power plants. We are going to ensure that we bring to this country the big energy companies that can put the money in here to build the plants to give you cheaper and better electricity.
I just have one question for Jamaica. Has Andrew Holness done that? How's your light bills? I don't tell me not about hurricane, Melissa. From 2016 till now, has your light bill gotten lower? Sparky, big up. Has your light bill gotten lower, Jamaica? He doesn't make promises, he makes commitments.
We'll make sure that we put in probably another 3 or 4 years before them actually do it. The Labour Party will make sure that we put in place more efficient electricity generated plants to bring down the cost of electricity to you.
This was March 15, 2015. Big up yourself, Sparky. Respect. Thanks for the support. Smash up your like button before you go. We still not reach 10,000 likes. Come on, guys. I've been on here more than an hour now. Stop it. No wonder the live now. When I see numbers them go faster, man. And now we smash up your like button, guys. And share the live, Come on. Help a brother out with the likes, man. But this is from March 15, 2015. Straight out of the horse's mouth. He did not win the election yet, and he promised the people to make electricity cheaper. And he told you how he was going to do it. And he made a commitment. And it's 2026, and you guys gave him a third term. The ones that voted for him and the other nefarious things that happened. And he's here. And electricity has gone higher. And there's no excuses for it. This was a commitment that was never, they had no intention of committing to. Receipts. This is what they call receipts, ladies and gentlemen. Unequivocal, unchallengeable receipts.
I don't like to make promise. I make commitment. And under the Labour Party government, we are going to ensure that we bring to this country the big power plants. We are going to ensure that we bring to this country the big energy companies that can put the money in here to build the plants to give you cheaper and better electricity.
What I can say, that will never happen. And you hear the people in the background that ad live. Massa. Trick them, get tricked.
No mistake about it. They do. So these groups, they are being paid to do so. They are highly coordinated. And these groups exist across the big political divide. Make no mistake about it. They do. So these groups exist.
So the nationwide revolt, you're not a part of that group, eh? Yes, you talk about. Interesting.
Funded, taken care of by some of our political representatives. And that is their new influence of power. So, look at what happened with Dr. Horace Chang the other day. I had a conversation. You hear there, Jamaica? It goes.
I can in charge of them. Evidence of things seen. Show me the work you have done to have had back to 20 George people. One, George Davis, point political for you. Not the narrative of the people. Look how much that is happening, you political parasite. You're a political vulture.
It goes.
He right clap about the chopping.
Me love you no bad.
Listen to this.
To our social media warriors,
Terry, big up.
like Keisha Mack, Alex Higgs, Selena, Oral Campbell, Bridget Watson, Donovan De Paz, Black Italian, Jay Brown, Alex Jano, Mr. and Mrs. Dottyman, Chopper John West from the Chopping Block, who is our personal Ian Harding. I know that 85% or so of us sitting in Parliament can attest to the measurable support of the Chopping Block, especially during the election season.
So, those 11 people you just mentioned, Hero Clark, are those the hired goons of the Jamaica Labour Party? The paid operatives that lie? Let's go back to what Draws Davis just said. Let's go back to Draws Davis.
Paid. Listen to what George Davis said today on media.
But what kind of influence do they still have? And this is the troubling part now. Because the politician has seen influence disappear, where their ability to direct their goons to commit serious crime is concerned. And now the power that the politician has and the influence is wielded through getting goons to destroy people's reputations on social media. That's where it has gone. That's where the power and influence of the politician is now present. Because make no mistake about it, the people you see making all kinds of videos, the people you see posting all kinds of lies, not even nonsense, lies, daily, weekly, systematically, they are not doing it for free. They are being paid to do so. They are highly coordinated. And these groups exist across the...
Our social media warriors, like Keisha Mack, Alex Higgs, Selena, Oral Campbell, Bridget Watson, Donovan De Paz, Black Italian, Jay Brown, Alex Jano, Mr. and Mrs. Dottyman, Chopper John West from the Chopping Block, who is our personal Ian Harding. I know that 85% or so of us sitting in Parliament. To our social media warriors, like Keisha Mack, Alex Higgs, Selena, Oral Campbell, Bridget Watson, Donovan De Paz, Black Italian, Jay Brown, Alex Jano, Mr. and Mrs. Dottyman, Chopper John West from the Chopping Block, who is our personal Ian Harding. I know that 85% or so of us sitting in Parliament.
So, are those the goons and paid operatives this one is talking about?
You see posting all kinds of lies, not even nonsense, lies, daily, weekly, systematically. They are not doing it for free. They are being paid to do so. They are highly coordinated. And these groups exist across the big political divide. Make no mistake about it. They do. So these groups exist, funded, taken care of by some of our political representatives. And that is their new influence of power. So, look at what happened with Dr. Horace Chandler.
So, I never heard any PMP going to Parliament bigging up paid operatives. Oh, and by the way, if there's any members of Parliament that have seen my work on social media, I don't need any shout out there. No shout out, please. Thank you. Just in case. Bolo V&R has never, ever tried to solicitate, try to push up myself, get into the mix. No, have anybody's number. We're in regards to who is a politician. I've never been interested. If the person is a part of a political party and I knew them before, that's different. But they don't know them already. But I've never, ever looked to get clout, rise to anything. No, listen, I rather stay, like how Mr. Lonesome said, stay in a wilderness. You never know. Yeah, because me not do mix up. I don't do mix up. You understand? Yeah. True. Me not do mix up. I don't do mix up. Me not do mix up. Anyway, That was a very interesting form of commentary. That name they're funny. Huh? Do you remember the Amber Group? You remember the Amber Group, the Indian brother? Where come a Jamaica and just turn multi-millionaire? Yeah, man. What is this? I could hear that audio also.
And flooding have reminded us how vulnerable we are to natural disasters. Whether it's floods, heavy rains, and flooding have reminded us how vulnerable we are to natural disasters. Whether it's floods, hurricanes, landslides, or even earthquakes, these events can strike suddenly, damaging homes, cars, and businesses. While the water eventually recedes or the winds die down, the financial impact can linger for years. That's where insurance comes in as a key part of protecting your future.
Oh, that's an advertisement. I thought you had something to do with the article. Anyway, let's read. Or let the computer read. Don't tell me it's not gonna read. Come on. No, it's not reading. Not gonna read it. It says here the Jamaica Amber Group and Guyana Bahari Group has officially entered in a strategic joint venture to establish a new IT and cyber security service company. Bahari Amber Technologies Inc. making a major milestone in the region digital transformation journey. The partnership brings together two of the most respected companies in the Caribbean. Don't make me laugh. I don't know about one of them, but anyway, in the Caribbean, and signals a significant investment in the future of technology, security, and digital infrastructure. The joint venture reflects a shared vision to address a critical gap in Guyana's technology landscape. Listen up, ladies and gentlemen. And you might be wondering, why am I looking at Guyana? The Amber Group. Guyana's rapid economic expansion and strong government focus on digital transformation require a comprehensive, locally anchored technological partner capable of delivering end-to-end IT and cybersecurity service at scale. Ladies and gentlemen, isn't this the same Amber Group that is in Jamaica? Didn't we have some hiccups in the election? And before the election? Let's continue. The partnership directly responds to that need, creating a one-stop technology platform that will serve both government and private sector clients, meeting domestic as well as regional demand. Commenting on the partnership, Suresh Bahari, Chairman and CEO of Barrier Group, stated that Guyana is at a pivotal moment in its development where digital infrastructure and cybersecurity are no longer optional but essential. He noted that the vision behind the joint venture is to support Guyana's modernization journey by building strong, reliable, and future-ready technological capabilities. He added that Amber Group stood out as a partner due to its proven delivery record, depth of expertise, and shared commitment to long-term impact across the region. Bro, you cannot make this up. Dushanti Savadia, that is the Indian man, founder and CEO of Amber Group, would always hear Mystic Sensation talk about a brother and melting pot. Okay. Founder and CEO of Amber Group expressed his appreciation for the partnership and the trust placed in Amber by the Hairy Group. He described the collaboration as far more than a commercial venture, emphasizing that it represents a shared commitment to Guyana's growth, resilience, and technological advancement. We highlighted Bahari Group's long-standing contribution to national development and noted that the joint venture will play a meaningful role in strengthening digital infrastructure, improving cybersecurity readiness, and support the country's rapid economic expansion. Guyana's emergence as Guyana emergence as one of the fast-growing economies globally will increase investment across energy infrastructure and financial services. Makes the timing of this joint venture both strategic and necessary. Built on strong local roots and global enterprise, the collaboration aligns closely with the government's focus on digital transformation and positions the new entity to become a central enabler of innovation, security, and efficiencies across the region. With Guyana emerging as one of the fastest growing economies globally and attracting increasing investment across energy infrastructure, financial services, and public sector modernization. The timing of the joint venture is both strategic and necessary to build strong local roots and global enterprise. Bahari Amber Technology Inc. aligns closely with national digital transformation objectives and is positioned to become the key enabler of innovation, security, and operational efficiencies across Guyana and the wider Caribbean. Ladies and gentlemen, please remember this article. I have a funny feeling that we're going to be hearing some other news coming out of Guyana, seeing that the Amber Group is there. And this man, Remy Dushan Savaria, his ties with Andrew Wallace, whatever that is, you know what they say. Careful of the company that they keep. Yeah, man. So, keep that in mind, my people. I will say nothing more. I just wanted to have it on record. Remember, the Amber Group has now joined with the Behera Group and it had a venture to bring that better digital future to Guyana. Alright? Please remember that. So when you hear anything come out of Guyana, when you come out to them type of something, remember say Bolo V tell you about this. Oh, by the way, I am sure that Mystic Sensation is going to pick this up because you know when you come out to this guy, them have him on him radar. Okay, good. Moving on. The JN Fund. And this article is in Our Today. And the article is Amber Group Behera Group launch joint venture to power Guyana's digital future. Right? Alright, so this one now, maybe I can actually get this one to be read. Is that possible? Let's see. The read aloud thing now work on the other day. I don't know why. See, I'm not even give me the option to read aloud. Yeah, you don't give me the option to read aloud. But it's like, I don't know if it's because the advertisement is there. Let me see how small. Okay, this one is a bit small. Alright, so Barita Investments advised that JN Fund Manager is now a wholly owned subsidiary and is now being integrated into its network. This development follows receipt and regulatory non-objection from the Financial Services Commission, which regulates the non-deposit taking financial sector. The integration of Jane fund managers into Veritas enterprise wide infrastructure is expected to enhance sale, deepen institutional asset management capabilities, and further diversify recurring fee-based revenues. In addition, Veritas' established risk management and governance framework will be extended to Jane Fund Manager in a manner that complements and supports the continued authority and oversight of the Jane Fund Managers Board. Veritas Chief Executive Officer Roman Small Ferguson, that's it. That's the PNP Senator. Sorry, guys. That's the PNP Senator, Mr. Small Ferguson's son, comments that the acquisition represents a further step in the execution of Veritas' long-term strategy under the Cornerstone Group and strengthens investment management capabilities, broadens product offerings, and enhance long-term value for clients across Jamaica and the wider Caribbean. In connection with the change of control, Barita advises that Ricardo Williams has been appointed interim chief executive officer of Jane Fund Managers Limited, while also serving as a senior vice president, asset manager and research at Barita Investment. The appointment took effect January 19, 2026. In his capacity as interim chief executive officer of Jane Fund Manager, Williams will report to the board of directors of Jane Fund Managers and to the chief executive officer, Barita Investment, and managing director of Barita Unit Trust Management Company, Raymond Small Ferguson. Ooh, wow. But Mr. Raymond, you think they're normal, brother? Raymond Small big in a Barita, man. Williams brings nearly 15 years of experience across economic research and financial services sector, spanning portfolio management, investment strategy, sales, and financial advisory. He has held several progressive senior roles within the Barita Group, most recently serving as Vice President, Asset Manager and Research. Williams holds a Bachelor's of Science in Economics, Statistics, and a Master of Science in Economics Development Policy, both from the University of the West Indies. This appointment is intended to support continuity, operational stability, and the seamless integration of JN Fund Managers into the Barita Group. Barita remains committed to a structured and orderly integration of Jane's fund management with a focus of service, continuity, operational stability, and positive engagement with clients, employees, and counterparties. Jane Fund Manager clients are expected to benefit from the access to the combined entities, broader investment and platform, and enhanced institutional capabilities. Also keep note of that as well, ladies and gentlemen, that particular development. Alright? Must be wondering, where is he going with this? Well, let me go to this article here. Oh, by the way, there was an earthquake here. Minor earthquake felt in Kingston and St. Andrew. That is definitely something y'all need to watch. A minor earthquake was felt in parts of Jamaica early Wednesday morning, according to the earthquake unit at the University of the West Indies. Alright? I don't know what exactly is the size of the earthquake. This is a small article. It says there's a magnitude 3.6 on the Richter scale. The epicenter was located approximately 5 kilometers northeast of Gardentown in Kingston at a focal depth of 17 kilometers. Jamaica lies along active tectonic boundaries and experiences small and moderate earthquakes. Periodically, the earthquake unit continues to monitor seismic activity across the island. Residents are being reminded to remain prepared to follow standard earthquake safety guidelines. Be prepared for what is to come, ladies and gentlemen, and for what is to come, be prepared. Do not take those earthquakes lightly. Vacillate. Hope it's not a strategy. What Jane Group's leadership won't tell its 1.3 million members. I don't know, but this seems to be not coincidental that this came up in the same time as the article before, alright, of JN. So let's see what he's saying here. Hopefully it's not a long article. Oh my God, I hope they're on. No, this one I have to make it read aloud. I'm not going to read all of this, I'm not going to. Father God, please help me. Please help me. I'm not going to read all of it. I need your help, Father God. And when I get the help, I'm going to read somewhere because I don't understand. So control shift on you. Let's try it again. Not hearing anything, not seeing nothing pop up like something. A sound is coming from the actual. It's not playing at all. Let me just read the first part so we can get some context. At the Jamaica National Group's annual general meeting on January 27, Chief Executive Officer Earl Barrett spoke repeatedly of hope. Hope for a turnaround. Hope that the numbers would improve. Hope that the strategy being implemented would bear fruit. What he did not offer was a plan. After 3 consecutive years of a multi-billion-dollar loss of $2.3 billion in the FY 2023, financial year 2023, $3.4 billion financial year 2024, and $2.3 billion in financial year 2025. The 1.3 million members of the Jamaica oldest and most recognizable financial institution deserves more than a vague reference to driving efficiency through the execution of strategic properties. They deserve specifics, what went wrong, who is accountable, and precisely how leadership intends to fix it. Instead, they received management speak, and management speak, however, polished, do not pay down 11 billion in accountable losses. The numbers that cannot be spun. December 2025 Chris credit report makes for sober reading. The ratings agency affirmed Jane's Group credit rating but downgraded its outlooks to negative. A formal warning that further deterioration could trigger a full downgrade. The underlying metrics explain why. The group cost-to-income ratio now stands at 105.6%. In plain terms, Jane spends 1.06 to generate every $1 of income. Damn! This is not a temporary blip caused by one-off restructuring costs. This is a structural problem that has persisted across multiple financial years and reflects an organization that has lost control of its cost base. More concerning still is the erosion of the group's tangible network, the capital buffer that protects depositors and absorbs unexpected losses. This has declined to just 7.4% of total assets. For every 100, the group owns only $7.40, represents shareholders' equity. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not good. No wonder they actually, I notice when we start talking about these type of things that people need to pay attention to when we're running up, but we don't say late still. I'm just going to wrap up. This is not good. This is something to look at. That's why I'm going to read the first article first. So the first article is JN actually seeming as if they are not seeming, according to the article, is some type of see it said Barita Investment advised that JN Managers is now a wholly owned subsidiary and is now being integrated into its network. So there's an integration of JN into the Barita's network, the JN fund managers. And then now the other article is saying that JN is having issues. So this is something to watch. It's something to watch. It's something to take a look at, a deeper look at. And I would love to hear from the expert, because I'm not an expert on this. I would love to hear from Rasta Hyman as to what's going on with this. This is talking about the JN Bank, and then you have the JN Managers. I don't know what the difference is really. JN Fund Managers. I don't know what the difference is. But it's a subsidiary of the Barita's investment, JN Fund Managers. Let me Google it real quick. What is the difference between JN Fund Managers and JN? Alright, so based on the provided search result, this is clear distinction between JN Fund Managers, a legitimate, regulated and long-standing Jamaican investment firm, and entities often referred to in social media context like JFX Trade, okay? When the JN, so what am I saying about JN? Sorry. J is a deposit-taking commercial bank, while JN Fund is a licensed security dealer and investment manager. Okay, them different. They're different. They're different. Whoa, whoa, whoa. There's something. Of course, you know that the United Oil and Gas launched surface geochemical exploration program. How that girl was? You must smile as in Jamaica. Police fatally shot one wanted man, another surrender out west. Wow. Jerome Powell defies Trump, keeps Federal Reserve rates unchanged. I'm going to talk about that in the morning. I go. Yeah, we go sleep because I want to set a live for the PMP's 10:30 thing and give my early reaction to that. Because of course tomorrow I'll be doing this again, tomorrow night again. So it's Tuesday, Wednesdays and Thursday nights, nightly news recap. Um, and these are the stuff I wanted to focus on. I was hampered by the fact that the computer is not reading aloud, which is unfortunate. But hey, it is what it is. And I could have moved with more speed and covered more stuff. But it's getting late. I'm not gonna go as late as I did yesterday because I'm now almost at, it's what, 2 hours and 30 minutes I've been on. Yeah man. I'm going to go to my bed and at least slide out. Andrea, big up yourself. The moderator, them big up on yourself. Everybody else that came through. Everybody that Jack gives and passed through. Big up on yourself, alright? You guys have a good night. Pray for all of us. Pray for your families. Jamaica is a really corrupt place. Jamaica is I'm talking about under this government. Man, listen, there's some things that I learned tonight on Partner Jaw TV. Whew. Yes, sir. My trust level has depreciated under 6 feet, under 600 feet under the ground. I'm talking about, man, if you know me recently, just know you're walking into a situation where I don't trust you. I don't care who you are. If you are just knowing me, after what I just listened to on Andre Stevens' show tonight, if you are just knowing me, I don't trust you at all. Female or male, I don't trust none of you. You know what I said? None of you. None of you. Nobody. It's that bad. I don't know whether you're going to try and poison me. I don't know whether you're going to try to tell a lie on me to send me to prison. I don't know what kind of crazy shit you guys are conjuring up. Set me up. I don't trust none of y'all. If it's me personally, if up to me, man, listen, you would never see me. And of course, I don't control these things because I'm up on the road and then something like I don't trust none of y'all. Wish God could have just blessed me with one protective cloak. Invisible. And I'm not being funny. I am not being funny. If you see me in the streets, homie, you don't know me. Keep it like that. Damn. Bruh. Crazy. I gotta go though. See y'all later, man. Sheesh. No, sir. Thank y'all for hitting the like button. Hit it before you leave if you haven't already. Terrible man.